Hey, how y'all doing? Being in the auto industry, one of the things I end up talking about a lot, and I'm on a show. I do a show with Ryan Girardi quite often, where we talk about the future of automotive and transportation and technology and everything. And one of the things we end up talking about a lot there, and I end up talking about a lot at conferences and things, and just when I'm having other conversations in the business about the future of the business is about electric cars, and specifically Tesla, because Tesla is, they're depending on how you look at it, they're either the savior or the boogeyman in the closet coming to get everyone in the car business. And talking about Tesla and electric cars, which my opinion on Tesla is Tesla really has never been an automotive play, is an automotive company. Their long-term objective, in my opinion, is to become an energy company, to become a solar power company. That's why they've got the solar city and the roof tiles and everything, and they're using cars to get their foot in that. So I think that's their long-term play, is to save the planet through solar power. And but oddly enough, one of the biggest things you can do to save the planet, to eliminate carbon trapping or whatever it is, and the earth warming and all the stuff that's going on, the things as an individual you can do isn't to buy an electric car and isn't to put solar panels on your rooftop. One of the most powerful things an individual can do, oddly enough, is to eliminate meat and dairy products from your diet. Now, I heard, but before you even think about it, I'm not eliminating meat and dairy products from my diet. If I eliminate meat and dairy products, that takes bacon and butter out of my diet, and I don't know what I would eat if I didn't have bacon and butter on the table. So I'm not going there, but I learned about this a lot. I was listening to a podcast, the Freakonomics podcast. I was listening to this a couple weeks ago, and they talked about that the meat farming, the growth of meat and meat production in agriculture is one of the largest contributors to greenhouse gases in the environment. And I know a couple of months ago, right after the election, every time I turned on TV, somebody was talking about cow farts. And so you're talking about the methane. Actually, the problem isn't cow farts, the problem is cow burps. But that was the thing they were talking about, cutting out cows, because the cow farts were ruining the environment, but it's actually the cow belches that release the methane gas. And that's only part of the problem. The other part of the problem is the deforestation, because they cut down trees to make room for the cows, and the trees are what clean the air and keep the carbon out of the air so that we can actually breathe it and do our thing. So the podcast I was listening to, there was a Silicon Valley and inventor guy, who had zeroed in on this particular subject. This was the problem he was going to devote the next 10 years of his life to solving. He said, how can we protect the environment by reducing our consumption of meat? And he decided that he was going to invent meatless meat. And he invented I think the company is called the Impossible Food Company, and they have a product called the Impossible Burger. So I've been wanting to try the Impossible Burger to see how it is, because they talked about it like it's the best thing, well, since burgers. I guess that it's actually the first. We always had the veggie burgers in school, the soy burgers that tasted like plastic and rubber, and they said these actually taste like meat. They have that meat kind of taste, and they have something in it called heme, which is the primary ingredient in hemoglobin, which is blood. So they actually found this heme, which is a protein. They got it from another plant, and so they're mixing it all together. And they've spent 7 years researching this, and they finally came out with this product called the Impossible Burger. Now, 10 years ago, I probably ate meat 20 times a week. So 3 meals a day, seven days a week, 15, 20 meals a week, I was probably eating meat. Over the last few years, I've reduced my meat consumption, not necessarily trying to save the environment, but in part, and also because I wanted to eat healthier and eat less. And so since I'm eating less, I tend to get more of my protein these days from protein bars. If you ask anyone in my household, we have protein bars scattered everywhere. So I eat a ton of protein bars. So most of the times, my breakfast and my lunch consist of protein bars and a piece of fruit and a lot of black coffee. And then I eat meat at dinner. So I'm not trying to become a vegan. Never, wouldn't even think about it again. Bacon. But I've been wanting to try the Impossible Burger just because it's gotten hyped up so big. And I found out, and it's starting to roll out few years ago it was out, but it was crazy expensive. But now they're rolling it out as a mass production product, and you can find it in a couple of different places and in several restaurants right around here in Nashville. And I found out a restaurant right here in Brentwood had the Impossible Burger. So I wanted to go try it. And I think this is Burger Week in Williamson County. There's some big promotion going on with all the burger joints in Brentwood and Franklin. So they're having specials and promotions where you can get $5 gourmet burgers at some of the fancier high-end restaurants, and a burger that would normally cost you $11 to $12. And one of these places had the Impossible Burger. Which wasn't on sale for $5, by the way. But I went to Stout Burgers and Beers here in Brentwood last night with the express intention of trying the Impossible Burger. Tried to get my kids to go with me, but nobody wanted to try the soy burger but me. Did talk my wife into going, so we had a plan where she's going to go in. She's going to order a burger with regular meat, and I'm going to order the same burger with the same toppings with the Impossible Burger. We're going to compare and contrast, and we're going to see how it did. So we got there, and the burger comes out. And the Impossible Burger, I mean, it was big. It was like a half-inch thick. It was a beautiful and glorious looking thing. And I took a bite out of it, and it was okay. It wasn't bad, but it wasn't good. It was just okay. It did kind of taste like the old cafeteria burgers that we used to have. Maybe a little better, had a little more of a meat taste, a little more of a meat texture, but it wasn't great. And if I hadn't known maybe that I was eating the Impossible Burger, I'm not 100% sure that I would have been able to tell that it wasn't actual meat. I would have just thought maybe it wasn't good meat. It wasn't prime meat. So I'm thinking maybe that the gourmet burger place isn't the best place to try this, because then I took a bite out of Mary's Burger, and it was stupendous. Grease and blood dripping down my face, and the burger was falling apart. It was just absolutely perfect. And so the gourmet burger was good. My burger was whatever, okay. So that's probably not the best place to try the Impossible Burger with a half-inch slab on between a couple of pieces of a brie bun, and with gourmet toppings and all that. But if you're a fast food joint, I don't know that you could have told the difference from this. If you're making meatloaf at home, or you're making spaghetti at home, I don't know that you could have told the difference from that. So it was okay, but it wasn't great. I'm definitely not going to try it again on a gourmet burger. If I can try it at home in a recipe, or I did hear rumblings that White Castle is getting the gourmet burgers, and I do love me some gut bomb, so I might try a gut bomb with a meatless gut bomb. Now that's how you're going to save the planet right there, meatless gut bombs. I'll see you around.